What's up, makers? Today I want to show you how you can do well on your task 1 using to, by, with, at in task 1 correctly. So some people get confused how to use these prepositions. However, it's relatively easy, and I want to show you with this example. I changed the example a little bit to this statement: the number of unemployed people in town A. But it's basically the same thing that you don't have to worry about, and I'll show you in the easiest way with a direct example here. So for example, as you can see, this one stayed here from 1960 until 1965. It stays the same. So what can we say here? So I want to show you in the way that we can say, but I will not directly write everything, but I'll try to use as much to, by, with, at in this part. Right? So the number stood steady at 100. So from 1960 to 1965. I just mentioned how to use at here. Just gave an example here. I'm not going to use it triple, doubled, or anything. I'm just going to show is at, with, to, and this kind of stuff. So then, as you can see, number rose to 100. So 200 actually. How I'm gonna write? So let's say the figure rose. I don't want to add even significantly or marginally or anything dramatically. I'm just gonna show you with a clear example, just saying that the figure rose by 100. Figure rose by 100, meaning that from 100 to 200 between 1965 and 1970. So as you can see, we have here at, we have here by, and I'm sure that you're learning how to use these ones correctly, because you have to be familiar with these ones, how to use them correctly. Otherwise, you are more likely to get a lower score. So with this example, I hope it's becoming more clear. And now I'm gonna say that unemployment, the number, let's just say the number again. The number reached the highest figure in 1975. Right here it's 1975 at, let's say, 500. Here I'm giving an extra information by saying it's at 500 exactly. That's here is 500, so I'm mentioning this part. So I'm gonna mark this one again for this purpose, for this, and I'm gonna say that the number was the highest. Let's say figure was the highest. The figure between 1975 and 1980 was the highest with this is how you're gonna use with 500 people, 500 unemployed people. Well, this is how we're gonna use the with here. I just showed the figure between 1975 and 1980 was the highest with 500 unemployed people. That's for only this purpose that I'm trying to show, for only how to use at, by, with in the correct way. So then I'm gonna write it for 2 as well. Then so the number let's say the number dropped to, okay, which here it's exactly, let's say it's 350 to about 350 in the next, let's say just next 5 years. I just don't want to repeat myself like every time. I don't want to repeat here. Instead, I can give just in the next 5 years. So as you can see, what do we mean by to, and what if it's not still clear that we use at to mention where the number is here. For by, I added this number. I subtracted here, and it reached the 200, but I subtracted this 100, and this how I came up with 100 here. So it's by 100. All right. So now when you add the last number to here, you can come up with a 200 here, and I'm adding this extra information as well. So when it comes to reach the highest figure, as you can see, this is the highest figure in the chart, and I'm mentioning this is reach the highest figure at 500, and it means we are mentioning this is the highest number. And here it's how you're gonna use with. So let me explain one by one. For example, for add, we have to use add to add the number on the end of the sentence. Here it's exactly given like here, but here it's for another purpose. It means like for mentioning the situation of the number here. So we have to use a to when describing what happened to the number. Or for example, the number was 500 and then it dropped to 350. All right, we have to use by when we describe the amount of change between two numbers. So between these two numbers, 100 exactly changed. So I mentioned by 100. I hope it's becoming clear more. Now you can write for this for yourself and check how you wrote it. I want you to write this with by and to as well, so that I can check. You can check it as well. Now because I will let you pause the video and check with my answer. I want you to use it with by and to. Okay, now I'll show you the correct way to do it. It is a number, let's say decrease it to 0. If we use this with 0, if we use this with 2, I'm gonna say it was decreased to 0. Here, as you can see, from here to 0. So from 1985 to 1990. So how about when it comes to with using by? So it's easy again. The number decrease it by. So subtract this number. It was 350. Now it's 0. So I'm gonna say by 350 between, let's say just the same, from 1985 to 1990. I hope it's clear. In the simplest way, I tried to explain this article, how to use this article, and it's not really difficult as long as you have this example and you can check it. And yeah, you can improve your task one significantly once you understand how to use this prepositions. So I hope this video was useful, and as always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.